So we'll begin our second portion of the meeting, which is going to have Steve Elliott speak to us on about LinkedIn. My experience with LinkedIn is kind of funny because my initials are KKK. So somewhere along the line, I got booted off of LinkedIn because of my initials. And it was quite the adventure to get back on. I had to send them a SOS through my husband's account and make up some kind of story that I was, yeah, my thing had been hijacked, and then I had to not use my middle name, and oh, it was quite funny. But I know there is value in using LinkedIn because I often see a lot of different Toastmasters on it. So I'm very much looking forward to Steve telling us how we can do it better. So, Steve, I would like to introduce him as he's a charter member of Great Minds Advanced Toastmasters. He has been a Toastmaster since 2012 and held numerous club officer and district roles. He has been a pioneer on LinkedIn since 2007, leveraging his extensive experience to manage not just his personal profile, but also 3 company pages. Today, he's going to share valuable insights on how to harness the power of LinkedIn to grow your club. Help me to welcome Steve Elliott as he presents Grow Your Toastmasters Club, Turning LinkedIn Connections into Guests. Steve.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that warm welcome. And I am delighted to be here talking about 2 of my favorite things, Toastmasters and LinkedIn, and bringing them all together. I do have a few slides to share with you tonight, but I do want this to be an interactive session. So feel free to shoot up a virtual hand or to put up even your real one, and I will attempt to find you in the crowd. And you can ask me your questions about LinkedIn. I'd be first curious, and you can type into the chat for me. Does your Toastmaster Club have a company page? And do you have a LinkedIn profile? Let me know in the comments of the chat whether you're already on LinkedIn as a person or whether you have a company page on there for your Toastmaster Club, because that will, yes and yes, says Connie. Thank you, Connie. There is a difference, and I have seen clubs out there that create personal profiles for their club. I'm going to share with you why I think that may not be the best decision to make for long-term success on LinkedIn. Laverne has a personal page. Excellent. Excellent. The nice news, or the good news, the nice news, the good news is that if you do create a company page, it costs you nothing. And a company page has more benefits than a personal page. All right, so let me just talk a little bit here about company pages, and I'll give you some tips if you decide to set one up and answer any burning questions that people may have tonight. All right, so here's a little chart that just goes through the different features of a LinkedIn profile, whether that be company page or personal profile. And for the purposes of this discussion, profile means personal profile, individual page, if you'd like. First feature, track visitors to your page. Well, for personal profiles, it's very limited. You only get to see the last 5 people that came, unless you want to pay for an upgrade. Company page, it's unlimited. And you'll get to see who's coming to check out your company page on LinkedIn. It also provides you with other data. What cities are these people coming from? What jobs do they have? Other details like that, which can be really a good thing for the VP PR to data mine and to look into. So that's a nice advantage right off the hop for a company page. Responding to posts, you can do it as a person and you can do it as a company. And I really challenge you, don't sleep on commenting on posts, commenting on other people's posts, even as a company page, commenting. Go to district Well, I'm looking to see your district number. What's your district? I was going to say go to
64.
District 86's. What's that?
District 64.
64. There you go. Go to District 64's posts. Comment on there to let them know that you're an active club. Who knows? Somebody may click on your club and go look and see what days and times you meet and whether they'd like to come and be a guest speaker, or if your club has open membership, maybe they want to come and check you out as a guest. So you can respond to posts as a company page, and it's a very effective way to build traffic to your, I guess, your club in the long run. Allow multiple users to post content. No for the personal profile. Personal profile is my personal profile. Unless I share my login information with Patrick or Connie or Karen, only Steve can post to Steve's personal profile. But company page, we can all be posting from the company page. So Patrick, Connie, and Steve, if we were all part of the club and all given access, we could all be going in and doing the page. And where that's helpful is it can help to share the load. So it's not just one person doing it. You have multiple members of a club doing it. Following profiles. You cannot follow profiles as a company page. However, you can have interests. So you could have an interest in Toastmasters, Rotary Club, and any other. Maybe you want to have an interest in your mothership, your main company page. You can do that with your company page. Hopefully, I'm not confusing everybody. Create events. Yes, you can create events as a personal profile, but it has limited features. Company page, much easier to create events. And the lovely thing about events, when you create them on a company page on LinkedIn, you can tag your speakers, which is just wonderful. So if you have somebody who's, maybe they're an influencer on LinkedIn, maybe they have thousands of people following them and they're going to be your speaker. Well, you tag them, they are going to be, your company page will be into the feed of all those thousands of people that follow that person. Hashtags are kind of going away on LinkedIn. I'm not even sure you can follow hashtags anymore. I have to update this. They're always changing the algorithm. But for now, you can follow hashtags if you want. So you could set up a company page and say, I want to follow a hashtag called public speaking. And what's going to happen to you is every time there's a trending post, quote unquote, trending post that mentions public speaking in the hashtag, you'll get a notification. You can go to then and comment on it, maybe see what people are commenting there so that you can maybe discover a lead as a cattail walks by our screens. So these are some reasons why I would say to do a company page if you haven't already done one. And I'm talking a company page for your Toastmasters club. I work for Starbucks. So if I had a Starbucks Toastmaster club, I would create a Starbucks Toastmaster page. And then I would be making sure that I'm tagging corporate. I'm tagging other people that are in corporate. We're talking about profile. This may be another way to reach people within the hierarchy of your company, especially if the companies are multinational or huge in number. Also a great way to sometimes see if there are Toastmaster clubs and other corporations. I know at one point in our district, we were interested in creating a SAP Toastmaster club. And lo and behold, when we searched, we saw that there was SAP Toastmaster clubs in San Francisco, in China, in various other countries around the world. So it might be a lead magnet for club growth directors to be looking into. All right, so what are some features of company pages? It's really easy to produce content for a company page. It doesn't require much work. You can even create further pages. If you really wanted to go crazy, you could have a page dedicated to, I don't know, speech contests. You could have a page dedicated to new members. You decide what you want to showcase. And the growth comes when you get interactions. So if you create a company page, you want to make sure your members of your club are following that company page, that they're liking and commenting on the posts, because that will really grow the reach. I mentioned you get analytics. So here's my GMAT club, and you will see that 68 people came and viewed it. That was up 47% over the previous 30 days. We had 38 unique visitors. So even though the page was viewed 68 times, that was done by 38 different people. That was up over 18%. I wouldn't get too hung up on this one. This one is, if we have, and we do, our club has a button that takes them to TI. You can customize your button. A lot of people, even on my own personal company pages, don't click on this. So I wouldn't get too hung up about the custom button clicks. And then down here, you would see page views by day. And this is a great one because you can see, is my content driving people to look at my company page? Is it bringing eyeballs to me? And it's a great way to effectively see how your content is working for you. Here are 3 reasons why I love company pages for Toastmaster clubs. One is, as I already mentioned, more than one person can post content and do that quite easily. So it doesn't have to be all on the VP PR. If the VP membership wants to help out, if there's a member at large that wants to help out, all they have to do is be set up with access, and they can help out as a team so that other people are also producing the content. The transition is very easy. When Steve's term as PR is over, all Steve has to do is go in and select Karen as the new editor, and now Karen as the new VP PR takes over the page. It's seamless. If we had created a personal profile for our Toastmaster Club, I would have to transfer the email address, the login information. That would have to go to Karen. Likely it's going to start saying, oh, you're logging in from a new device, and it's just a mess. So keep it to the company page because it makes it nice and easy. And it's a tidy, professional look. Now, I know we're talking corporate clubs here, so maybe this is more suited for community clubs, but wouldn't it be interesting if the parent company saw that there was a Toastmaster club in Winnipeg? That might cause them to reach out and see what's going on at that Toastmaster club, or may cause them to say, hey, we need more Toastmaster clubs in our company. So it's a professional look and it has long-lasting impact. All right, just quick notes on some content. You can reshare content on LinkedIn. So I've got here avoid reshares. The reason I have that is because most people, when they reshare, will type in their own thoughts on top. And if you type your own thoughts on top, for whatever reason, I can't follow out the LinkedIn algorithm, but for whatever reason, it's going to give that less priority because you put a comment on top of it. So if you are going to reshare, reshare without comment. Comment below, but don't comment on top, if that makes sense. As I mentioned, creating events on a LinkedIn company page is really awesome because you can tag the speakers. And once you tag the speakers, then all of their followers get to see that this speaker is coming to your club. It's a great way to get others to interact with it. So creating events is a really good thing on a company page. You do want to avoid inactivity. So if you were to tell me, well, Steve, my PR person's really swamped, I don't think they're going to be able to do posts, I would tell you don't bother with a company page, because there's nothing worse than they go and they see that the last post was in 2021 and they're left to go, I wonder if this club is still operational. So avoid inactivity. I'm talking like months and months of inactivity. LinkedIn will tell you 1 post a week. So you're talking 52 posts for a year on average. or I guess every year. So consider can I do this? Can I put up a post a week? If you can, then go for it and do it. If you say, I'm not sure I can do it every week, can you do it every other week? If your answer is I can only do it once a month, I would say you're better to not create a company page. You want it to look active. So yes, create content weekly. And you want to look for quality posts. I mentioned about you can see when you put content out, did people react to it? And then you can use that information to further generate more content from. Avoid the temptation to every day I'm going to post something, because it's not going to allow the content to really breathe and to get an audience. So post once, see how it goes. Next week, post something different if it didn't go the way you wanted, or if it was a surefire hit, then keep posting that type of content on LinkedIn. What might you post? Well, you could post pictures from your open houses. You could post articles and thoughts on the art of communication. You could post corporate events that tie into the Toastmasters message in some way. There's lots of different things that you could use and you could post on a LinkedIn company page. And it's a great way to blah, 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 blah. Create community. So you can link up with other corporate clubs in your district. You can follow them. You could tag other corporate clubs. Maybe you're going to have, a club event we just had in our district. Two clubs got together and did a debate. So you could tag each other if you were going to do the debate, and you have two times the clubs promoting your event. So it's a great way to create community on LinkedIn. And that's the end of my spiel on company pages. Does anyone have comments or questions about LinkedIn, company pages or otherwise? No. Excellent.
I have
I
a
will,
quick question there.
yeah, go ahead.
Do you think it is a good idea to connect up with other Toastmaster clubs LinkedIn? Like, I don't even know much following, or like build the network with it to kind of like link them together. I'm not familiar with LinkedIn itself. I'm just kind of
Right. Yeah, so you can, if they have a company page, you could follow their company page and they could follow yours. Um, if it's like a different branch of the company, like our first speaker was talking about Chattanooga,
Mhm.
and she was based in a different city. So you could follow each other there and connect there if you wanted to, if you knew there was other corporate clubs in your um, corporation, because some large companies have hubs all over the world, and maybe there's Toastmaster clubs in those hubs that could be connected up. So yeah, you could do that kind of thing and create a little bit of a community space that way. It's also a good way to, you know, um, because you can invite people to follow your page. And if you have coworkers, you can, immediately go and ask them to follow your corporate Toastmasters page, whether they're members or not. And it's another touch point that you could now give to them where something will come across their screen. So if they're not a member, but suddenly they're seeing this open house event that's taking place with the talented Suzanne, oh, Dackler, I might be pronouncing the name wrong, then they would say, oh, I think I want to come and watch that event. So it's a great way to create awareness within your company from people that aren't even members of your club. Now, yes, you may have internal communication avenues available to you, but I've often been told Sometimes it's more than one touch point and before somebody will finally say, maybe I will check this out. So consider that as well with a corporate page, because a corporate page, you can invite people to follow it. And once they follow it, they're going to see your content. I hope that answers your question.
Yep. Perfect. Thank you.
Excellent.
I have a question.
Yes, Karen.
In order to create a corporate LinkedIn page, is there anything that you have to clear or ask the corporation that you're working with before you do this page?
Good point. You may need to get some sign off on this. Absolutely. So you would need to check in with whoever that gatekeeper is in your particular company, whether it's HR, whether it's, I don't know, corporate governance, I don't know, depending on companies, there could be lots of owners or lots of people that are in charge of that. Marketing departments, maybe. So you do want to make sure that it's got the blessing of head office before you start putting one out there.
No, that makes sense.
That being said, in terms of the LinkedIn side of things, and if this is totally unscripted, so I apologize if it goes slightly sideways, but here's my district's 86 company page. As you can see here, when I hit this create button, I can create a post. Are you seeing all this, by the way? I don't know if you're seeing all my screen.
Yes, we are. Thank you.
Okay. I can create a post. I can create an event. I can post a job. Well, we're not going to post a job. I can publish an article. So if your corporate club has a newsletter, you could publish your article on LinkedIn. You could create a newsletter. I don't think you're going to create an ad, and then you've got create a showcase page. And it's just the same as if it was a post on LinkedIn or a personal post. There you go. Now, I only have access, if you're saying, oh, Steve has access, I only have access to this because I was helping out with the district PR team. You have to get clarity and let me see if I can find it quickly. I might not be able to find it quickly. I'm just, this is impromptu speaking at its best. Okay, so, you get to put a little overview in as to what your club is about, a website to direct them to it, what industry you're in, your company size, all that other detail can go in there. There's your specialties, so you can put in different specialties for your page. And there is, if I can just remember where it is, I may not be able to bring it up tonight. I apologize. Might be in settings. Let's see. There you go. So as I said earlier about it's easy to remove people, I won't do that here. But as you can see, I could take and somebody could be removed as a super admin. There are different roles as well that you can, and you can always add. You just say, I want to add somebody. You type in their name, and then you give them what you want them to have access to. Super admin, access to everything. Content admin can only publish content to the company page. I've never seen somebody use analyst, but there you go. You could have somebody that only looks at the data. They don't actually get to do anything. They just get to look at the data. And that's the company page. And if I was looking at page posts, and let's see here, analytics. So there you go. We've had 149 impressions. There's been 5 reactions in the last month, 1 comment. Nobody has reposted. And then down here, you get to see who. So on days like this, you'd say, oh, how did we get 34 people coming to our page? Did we post something? And if we did, let's replicate that and post it again, because obviously lots of people liked it on Saturday, March 8th. All right, so this is the good data it can give you.
Would that be a reflection of when you posted it as opposed to
Yes,
what you
it could be.
posted?
It could be when, and it could be what. Because there could be like, okay, well, how come on this Thursday 20 people came, but on this Saturday 34 people came? Is it because there was a post that drove people to come look at our page? Is it because both days had posts, but this post was a little better? People reacted to it more, got more excited about it. Then you can look again at, like I showed you earlier, you can look at visitors to your page. You can look at all your followers. If anyone's joined you as a follower. So it is an effective tool that you can use. And if you're members of community clubs, I would definitely say community clubs should also have company pages out there, because when you think about the audience of a LinkedIn social media platform, it's a lot of corporate people. It's a lot of working professionals that are likely going to want Toastmasters to help them with their communication journeys. So be on there as a way to showcase yourself. Any other questions?
I think everything has been very helpful for me
Oh, great.
personally. Does anyone else would like to ask a question?
Yeah, anyone. I'm just going to see here.
Yes. Do you feel that it was worthwhile to put your club on LinkedIn?
I do feel it was worthwhile to put our club on LinkedIn because it, you know, I haven't noticed it so much for my Toastmasters club, but for my personal page, I will often get people who have never liked a post, never commented on a post, but they'll say to me, "Oh, Steve, I love the content you're publishing." So I offer this because I say you just never know who's looking at it. So don't get discouraged when a post goes out and only 5 people like it and only 1 person comments, because there's probably hundreds of other people that are looking at it, but they aren't interacting with it. So having that out there is just it's another way to, like I say, profile yourself. Especially for somebody, when I think of corporate clubs, let's face it, we get inundated with company newsletters and, Slack and all these other sort of forms of advertising and other forms of communication. Hit them with, if they suddenly start seeing some LinkedIn content, that might intrigue them to come and look and investigate some more. So I wouldn't sleep on it. Now, does my company page of my community club, does it get hundreds of views and is it viral posts? No, it's not. But we feel it's a good investment in our time because of the audience that it is likely to attract. And your club members need to help you in this. And I say help you. I'm talking to VPPR folks, because the reach can be expanded when other people either comment, like, or repost without comment to their feeds, because then it's going to show up in other people's feeds. And that's when you can start to get some movement and some bigger numbers, if that makes sense. And you can set up a page in, probably about 20 minutes, half hour. Like I don't think it takes too long to do. So it's not going to be a onerous task for somebody to go in and create it. But Karen did raise a good point. We do need to make sure, if it's a corporate company page, that it is cleared by corporate, because we certainly don't want to have a company page going out there and, oh, you're not allowed to have that. I have put my LinkedIn profile in the chat. So if anyone wants to connect with me on LinkedIn, I would be more than happy to do that. We can continue the conversation on LinkedIn. And if you'd like to come to Ontario, Canada, and visit an advanced club in Mississauga, we meet on Tuesday nights at, let me get the math straight, 8 o'clock your time, 7 o'clock my time. We're a hybrid club, and we would love to have you come join us. Our next meeting is on Tuesday, April 8th.
It'd be 6 o'clock our time. You are 1 hour ahead of us.
Oh, see, I knew I was going to get the math wrong. Because I'm looking at my clock and it's 9:15, and in your world it's 8:15.
Yep.
Okay, now I got it right. No jokes about Ontario people, please.
As long as you keep the Manitoba jokes to a bare minimum.
Oh, dear. Yes, I won't say anything. Your hockey team's better than my hockey teams, so I have to be really careful with what I say.
I have a question here. When we talk about the corporate, putting your community club as a corporate club, how does it work then for like, what are you using the name of your club as the corporation's, like is that what you're doing, or I'm a little bit confused.
Sure. Let me if you can indulge me here, I will look at this. I got 5 pages. I'm administrating. Okay, here's our GMAT club. So there you go. There's GMAT. It's on the let's view it as a member. And that's what people would come and see. They would come and see you'd have a banner. You always want to make sure it looks professional. So there's our banner. And there's our club name. And people can message us if they want to find out more about us. And we have posts, and we have 444 followers of GMAT on our page, or sorry, on the LinkedIn. So every time something goes out, it goes out to those 440 people. They're likely to see this post when it goes out. And this is where it becomes critical that we are regular with our content. I won't, yeah, I'll just leave it there. Got to be regular with your content. That is the thing. So if somebody was to say to me, I don't know if I can do a post a week. Well, maybe don't do this then. Because you want to make sure that when people come and see it, they're going to see a club that's vibrant and is posting things. Like I say, you don't want to see something that, it's been 6 years since they posted something here, or it's been even it's been 6 months. It just doesn't have a good look to it. Yes, Laverne.
So I see that you're an advanced Toastmasters club, and
Yes.
I'm not seeing, like, what's your definition of advanced?
Oh yeah, everyone's different, right?
Yeah.
Our definition of advanced is completed 2 paths, and then you'd be allowed to join us as a member. We welcome everybody as a guest, but you have to be have completed 2 paths or have a legacy DTM. We basically are the contest rules.
Oh,
So
okay.
those are our criteria for joining our club as a member.
So I guess if I was looking at your page, how would I know that? How would I know?
You wouldn't.
Okay.
You wouldn't that. Which is an interesting thing, because we have a lot of people that feel by us putting the word advanced in the club name that we are still a regular club, that people can join us. So it does raise some interesting questions about the terminology we put to these advanced clubs. So we do have people that will come to us. And then it was funny because the other day I was talking to a gentleman on the phone, and he said, I said, oh, you have to have certain educational requirements to be a member of our club. And he said, well, I've got a BA and I'm working on my master's. I said, oh, no, not those educational requirements. And then we had a discussion about pathways. That's food for thought, Laverne. Maybe we should be more clear as to what you have to have in order to join our club. That's a good point.
I was just curious because of the word advanced, and it can mean different things. like sometimes there's specialty clubs too that want you to be a Toastmaster ahead of time before you actually join, right?
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, when GMAT chartered, you had to be a member of another club in order to join GMAT. Then we discovered it was too hard to get to get members. Oh, let's do away with the dual membership. You just have to don't get me started on all these wonderful things. But anyway, advanced clubs are interesting. If you haven't been to one, we'd love to have you come to ours. We do round robin feedback, and yeah, it's an interesting interesting club for sure. Anyway, I don't wish to divert attention from why I'm here, which was to talk about the wonderful world of LinkedIn and company pages and how you might be able to use them.
Well, I think you've done a very good job with that. You've given us lots of food for thought. I know myself personally, I'm very appreciative of all the points that you made. Does anyone else have any other questions?